Good afternoon. My name is Maya Dhamrasam. I'm the founder of the Green Amendments for the Generations organization and movement, and I'm a proud member of the New Mexico Green Amendment Coalition. But my job here today is really to take on one of the big false arguments of opposition that we've been hearing from the Green Amendment. People suggest it's coming from the clean energy industry, but we know at its core it's really coming from the fossil fuel industry. I am here to make the case that the Green Amendment is a powerful, positive tool for addressing climate change, including by helping to advance good quality clean energy solutions. So let's just look at the language, right? The language of the amendment is very clear. Amongst the rights of the people to be protected is the right to a safe climate. It's right there, very clear. But in that second provision of the amendment, as Representative Ferrari has said, and as Eric has talked about, there is a clear obligation on all government officials in the state to protect the state's natural resources and to protect them for both present and future generations. These are rights and entitlements that belong to the people of the state of New Mexico if a Green Amendment is passed. And these rights are truly enforceable, just like the other fundamental rights we hold dear can be enforced in court when they're infringed upon. The right to free speech, the right to freedom of religion, and more. The entitlement for future generations to clean water and clean air, a safe climate, and healthy environments, I want to be clear to you. This entitlement of future generations is not just pretty language. We have demonstrated in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, where we have generational language in our Green Amendment, that this is a substantive, clear, and enforceable obligation of government officials. That when they are rendering decisions today, by virtue of this language in a Green Amendment, government officials are constitutionally bound to ensure in a meaningful, substantive way that they are in fact protecting the rights of future generations to a clean, safe, and healthy environment. Again, it's not pretty language. It's truly enforceable. As a result of the Bill of Rights placement of the language and this carefully crafted language that we put together, government officials in the state of New Mexico may not infringe on these rights. And they also may not empower other third parties to infringe on these rights. In addition, the obligation to protect natural resources is an affirmative, positive duty that government officials must carry out. So very clearly, when you put it all together, right, government clearly has to address climate change. They have to address climate change because it's a substantive right of the people. They have to address climate change because climate change has very direct implications for all of the natural resources that government becomes constitutionally bound to protect for both present and future generations. Because clean energy, right, is a critical pathway for ensuring a safe climate, for averting climate crisis, the New Mexico Green Amendment drives support for good quality clean energy projects. It drives support for good legislation, regulations, and decisions that support and advance good quality clean energy projects, and it will prevent government action that stymies clean energy progress. And we actually know this, one, because of the direct language as I presented to you, but we actually know this because we've demonstrated this in the courts. In the Held v. Montana case, where 16 youth took on government officials based on the Montana Green Amendment, it was because of the Green Amendment that it was recognized that the youth have a right to a safe climate and that government is constitutionally obliged to consider greenhouse gas emissions and the climate changing impacts of the decisions that government is about to make. And it is because of the Montana Green Amendment that a piece of state legislation that sought to prevent government officials from considering these issues was actually struck down as unconstitutional. In the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I and my organization used Pennsylvania's Green Amendment to take on fracking for fossil fuels and to prevent the exponential expansion of fossil fuels by, again, striking down a piece of state legislation that would have been incredible overreach and allowed for the exponential expansion of that industry. Part of the decision made very, very clear that the language required all government officials at every level of government to ensure that they were protecting the environmental rights of the people and the natural resources of the state. And by virtue of the Green Amendment, these rights of the people, these entitlements of the people, could not be waived away by a piece of state legislation. And right now in Pennsylvania, we have Pennsylvanians who are being impacted by climate change, relying on the Green Amendment in order to proactively lift up a piece of regulatory program that would be key to advancing good quality clean energy projects and is being attacked by the opposition. Now, in addition to these substantive rights and entitlements, the constitutional Green Amendment language, once put in place, actually also creates a procedural obligation, a procedural right of the people. It creates an obligation on government officials to thoroughly consider the environmental impacts, the environmental rights implications, the natural resource implications of the actions that they are proposing to take before they take that action. They have to do it in a clear and thorough way, and again, this is something we've proved in court. When we have this pre-action review in the context of a clean energy project, what we do is we create a really strong foundation for getting to yes when we have a good quality project. We also create a foundation for government officials to identify problems with clean energy projects that will result in serious avoidable ramifications that we want to avoid, and actually put in place requirements that will avert those environmental harms before they take place. And it actually creates the opportunity for government officials to have the knowledge to say no to bad projects, right? Before there's been an irretrievable commitment of resources or harm has been inflicted on the public. And so what all this means is when we get to court and we have a good informed decision around the clean energy project, if there's a challenge, including to a good quality clean energy project, there's a stronger defense to help allow that project to move forward to defeat that challenge. So because I just want to be clear though, we have to understand not all clean energy projects are alike. There are good quality clean energy projects, and there are clean energy projects where there are problems that need to be fixed before a project can be approved. And there are in fact some projects that aren't really clean energy, and they shouldn't be allowed to advance, right? It's in clean energy in name only. And the Green Amendment really gives us the knowledge and the foundation to make the right decision. And again, when we have a good project, to defend it in court. Clean energy projects are being attacked right now. They're being challenged, not attacked, they're being challenged right now in New Mexico and nationwide based on legal theories that have nothing to do with a Green Amendment, right? So when we have a Green Amendment in place, it actually, again, becomes a really important tool to get us to the right outcome, whether it's a yes, a no, or a modification. And I want to be clear, we have 3 states right now where we have Green Amendments. We have Green Amendment proposals in over 20 states, 3 states that already have a Green Amendment, Pennsylvania, Montana, and New York. And in these 3 Green Amendment states, we do not see Green Amendments being used in order to prevent or stymie good quality clean energy projects. What we actually see is we see these Green Amendments being used to seek, secure, advocate for, right, the policies, the programs, and the decisions that will advance good quality clean energy. And I just want to bring you a couple quotes from Pennsylvania. These are leaders of clean energy companies talking specifically about the Pennsylvania Green Amendment and making clear these amendments are great for renewable energy and by no means are an impediment to doing business. So when it comes to climate change, when it comes to advancing good quality clean energy that will be good for the state of New Mexico, when it comes to protecting all New Mexico residents and their inalienable human right to a clean, safe, and healthy environment, including those of future generations yet to be born, all the way around, a Green Amendment is good. So I hope you'll consider